Lions News Fan Report. What if the Detroit Lions could secure an impenetrable defense for the upcoming season? The 2025 NFL Draft is approaching, and the team has a major opportunity to strengthen its interior defensive line. Among all the available options, one name stands out as a high-impact pick: Ty Robinson from Nebraska. Could he be the key piece to transforming the Lions' defense? Let's dive deep into this discussion now. The Lions hold picks in 6 of the 7 rounds of the draft, which means they have multiple chances to bring in valuable reinforcements. Although they don't currently have a 5th-round pick, that could change by draft day, especially if the team makes strategic trades. But among so many defensive options, why does Ty Robinson deserve special attention? Ty Robinson is one of the most intriguing players in this draft, particularly because of his unique combination of size, speed, and intensity on the field. At the Combine, he stood out as one of the fastest defensive players in his class, an extremely rare trait for an interior lineman. His explosiveness at the line of scrimmage and relentless motor make him a constant presence in every play, pressuring opponents until the last second. This is exactly the kind of disruptor that the Lions' defensive coordinator will value, as Robinson could become a game-changer in an aggressive defensive scheme. Beyond his speed, Robinson brings an infectious energy to the game. He never gives up on plays, making him a nightmare for opposing offensive linemen. His endurance and brute strength allow him to be effective both against the run and in pressuring the quarterback. However, to make an immediate impact in the NFL, Robinson will need to refine his ability to shed blocks and develop a more advanced arsenal of techniques to face more experienced linemen. Another advantage Robinson brings is his versatility within the defensive line. He can play multiple positions depending on the team's needs, something the Lions will undoubtedly take into account. With a defense that requires depth and players who can adapt to multiple roles, Robinson fits perfectly into the profile Detroit is looking for. A player capable of functioning both as a nose tackle and a defensive end is a valuable asset for any team aiming for an unpredictable and dominant defensive front. To truly grasp the impact Robinson could have on the Lions, we only need to look at his collegiate performance. Throughout his time in Nebraska, he demonstrated impressive consistency, compiling solid stats and continuously improving his technique. He stood out not just for his athletic ability, but also for his tactical intelligence, reading plays and anticipating opponents' movements effectively. His commitment to the game and competitive mindset are qualities that the Lions coaching staff will undoubtedly view as a significant advantage. In today's NFL, where the most dominant defenses are built around strong and athletic defensive lines, having a player like Ty Robinson could be a game-changer for the Lions. He has the ability to turn pocket pressure into turnovers and force negative plays for opposing offenses. If developed correctly within the team system, he could become one of the pillars of the defense and a regular name in discussions about the league's top young defensive players. Despite all these qualities, some experts argue that Robinson still needs to improve in certain technical aspects. His hand usage and ability to disengage quickly from experienced blockers are areas that need refinement. However, this is not an insurmountable challenge. With the right training and coaching, he can enhance these aspects and become an even more complete asset for the Lions' defense. Another key factor to consider is his durability and work ethic. Robinson has a solid track record of health, which is crucial for a defensive lineman given the intense and constant physical contact. Additionally, he is known for his dedication in practice and commitment to personal and professional growth. This kind of mentality can be a decisive factor in ensuring his quick adaptation to the NFL level and his long-term success with the team. Lions fans understand the importance of strengthening the defensive line. Over recent seasons, we've seen how a well-structured defense can be the difference between a playoff campaign and a disappointing year. Ty Robinson represents not just an investment for the present, but also a long-term project. With proper development, he could become one of the most important defensive names for the Lions in the coming years. If the Lions manage to draft Robinson, it will be fascinating to see how the coaching staff shapes his talent. With a well-designed tactical scheme, he could become an unstoppable force on the defensive line. His presence could free up other players to take on strategic roles, making the Lions' defense even more unpredictable and dangerous for opponents. Another significant element to consider is how Robinson's presence could elevate the play of those around him. A dominant interior lineman forces double teams, which in turn frees up linebackers and edge rushers to be more effective. Players like Aiden Hutchinson could see a direct boost in their sack numbers and overall impact simply due to Robinson's disruptive ability in the trenches. When evaluating Robinson's fit within the Lions' current defensive scheme, his adaptability becomes an even more valuable trait. Detroit has been implementing a defense that emphasizes versatility, with players moving across different roles to create confusion for offenses. Robinson's ability to play both inside and outside would give defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn multiple ways to deploy him, making the Lions' defensive front even more dynamic. A major challenge for young defensive linemen entering the NFL is adjusting to the speed and complexity of the pro game. Robinson, however, has already demonstrated a high football IQ and a deep understanding of defensive concepts. His ability to read offensive formations and anticipate plays should allow him to make a smoother transition compared to some of his peers. Another area where Robinson stands out is his ability to anchor against the run. Too often, defenses crumble when they cannot stop opposing running backs from gaining chunk yards up the middle. With his size, strength, and leverage, Robinson has the potential to be a wall in the center of the defensive line, shutting down interior rushing lanes and forcing offenses to become one-dimensional. Beyond his physical and technical skills, Robinson brings a level of intensity and leadership that can't be overlooked. Even as a college player, he was known for setting the tone in the locker room and on the field. A strong voice on the defensive side of the ball is crucial for a team looking to establish itself as a perennial contender, and Robinson could develop into one of those cornerstone leaders for the Lions. Many analysts compare Robinson to other great defensive players who started their careers underrated but, through hard work and the right development, became essential pieces of their teams. This could very well be the path Ty Robinson follows if drafted by the Lions and given the proper training to maximize his potential. The big question now is, will the Lions take this gamble? The decision lies with the front office, but one thing is certain. If Detroit wants to build a dominant defense for the future, Ty Robinson could be the missing piece to turn that vision into reality.